Good morning, thriving warriors and those who wish they were. Whoa, where do I go? There I am. Something's not right here. Well, it kind of looks like my head is chopped off. Alexa, what is the date?
Today is Saturday, November 19th.
Correct. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 6:30 a.m.
Correct. Alexa, what is the weather?
Currently, in Amargosa Valley, it's 35 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies. Today, you can expect lots of sun with a high of 59 degrees and a low of 35 degrees.
Okay, so the low is 1 degree lower and the high is 1 degree lower. So we're inching down towards freezing. Wow. Okay, cool. Good morning, Diana. I'm sure Charlene is out there. Perhaps Todd is out there. Todd, if you're out there, we got to start working on getting these horses transported. Okay. Let's see. What do we do here? It's 1 minute and 25 seconds in. This is Department of Career Services, where our goal is to help you get from point A to point B, where B is better. How do we do that? Well, many ways. First, through this podcast. The podcast is the point of the spear. Good morning, Charlene. Making breakfast for the people at Rain Man. Good system. So through this podcast, but more important than that, down below in the description, please subscribe, click on the bell, share it with your friends, is links to various things. First of all, there's a link to our 4-week basic training course. There is a link to the motivational video that I watch over and over and over again and take notes for today's this podcast. There is a link to the TED Talk that goes with where we are in our basic training course. Today is week 2, day 6 of our 4-week course, and I encourage people to follow along with me. There is a whole bunch of information regarding services we provide to thriving warriors, including housing, clothing, food, hygiene, transportation, skills training, foundational employment, and career planning. Because you have to find something that you are passionate about in order to maximize the cultivating a life of meaning and purpose. Good morning, Todd. And we have the transcript of Seth Godin's daily blog, which he has been posting for 20 years. Hopefully you have your coffee, your pen, and your notebook. So mine is the AFWorks notepad, thanks to Mark Rowland. Yesterday was a pretty good day. It was the first meeting of the Thriving Warrior Amargosa Committee, where the goal is to find solutions to common problems. Kind of unique up here. So down in Silicon Valley, down at Santa Clara, the goal is the way it works is somebody has an idea, people come together and figure out how to make it work. People up here, let's say Nye County, have kind of gotten into the habit of somebody comes up with an idea, people gather together to find out reasons why it can't work, why it shouldn't work. Instead of making it possible, they try to make it impossible. And historically, that comes from a place where there is scarcity, where people are fighting over limited resources, rather than having an attitude of a rising tide lifts all boats. Let's work together, we can gain together, versus scrapping it out for every last penny on the ground, focusing on picking up pennies rather than growing fortunes. Okay, so that's my beginning monologue. Our theme, how do we get from point A to point B? Well, we have a theme. We have a kind of an approach. Our approach is breadcrumbs. Let's just pick up breadcrumbs on our way up to point B. And our theme is it's simple. And you want to get from point A to point B, it's simple, ... And every day there's a new breadcrumb. So today's breadcrumb is start coding your mind with gratitude. Start coding your mind with gratitude. This is partially from the lessons learned here in Nye County, in Western Nye County. Maybe it's Southwestern Nye County. The lessons learned up here where people are looking to shoot down reasons why not to do things, looking for reasons why it won't work instead of how to make it actually work. So, ba-boom. Start coding your mind with gratitude. There's a lot of things to be appreciative for. There's at least 1 billion people that would trade places with you right now. And that's not bad. Could be 2 billion. All right. So some of the memes from today's morning video. Stop negative thoughts. Stop negative thoughts. One way to do that, reduce your weakness. Reduce your weaknesses. Stop negative thoughts, reduce your weaknesses. Add the word yet. I can't do this yet. Reframe from negative to positive. You've got to jump. Another meme that was in today's great video. You've got to jump. Don't hold back. Yes, when you jump out of an airplane, which I have done, when you jump out of an airplane, and when I did it, you didn't have somebody attached to you. You were by yourself. Yes, it was on a static line, but you were by yourself. You've got to jump. And at first, it's a little bit scary till the parachute actually opens, the anticipation of the parachute opening before you jump. Having to actually jump out of the airplane. Wow, that's kind of strange, crazy. Sane people actually voluntarily jump out of an airplane? Yes, they do. I have done it. I have a picture somewhere to prove it. But then once your parachute opens, wow, really cool. That's why it is addicting for jumpers. You've got to jump. Bad day survival record. Just remember, when you're feeling bad, everyone's bad day survival record is 100%. No matter how bad our days have been, we have survived them. Our bad day survival record is 100%. Okay, cool, great. All righty then. Let's see, today's TED Talk video. Oh, Dr. Andrew Haberman talking about the reticular activation system. This is a new video that we have added. New video we have added. I've only listened to it a couple times. It's kind of good to get some new videos into this. Most of the videos we have are from the experts, and they're 10 years old, 9 years, 8. Here's a new one. It talks about the reticular activation system and how important it is. Definitely worth watching. First law of power. Power perceived is power achieved. If people think you're smart, to them, you are smart. Okay. All right. Moving along. Seth Godin's blog post. Micropayments for content. So this is another good one, but it's a little bit complex or different than the normal one. Micropayments for content. There's a problem that comes up every year or two, but no one has implemented a useful solution yet. Okay, that means there's hope. One day it will happen. Advertising is a surprisingly bad way for a culture to pay for content, because the kind of content that gets rewarded is often dumbed down for a large audience, or it's optimized for a small audience of people eager to buy something that makes a profit. It's also inefficient, as advertisers can't know in advance what's going to work, and creators get a very small share of ad spend. An alternative is to pay for what you get, the way we treat carrots, baseballs, clarinets. Instead of buying a baseball, though, you're buying a chance to watch a video. Okay, so instead of advertisers pushing, hey, watch this video, somehow the video is offered up, and for a penny or two or a nickel, you can watch it. Micropayments are a system where you can pay a penny or a nickel or a dollar for a piece of content. It introduces two kinds of friction, though. Okay, so what's the rub? I.e. friction. There needs to be a tech system that can effectively move tiny amounts of money around. In other words, you can't cost a penny to send a penny. As a reader, consumer of content, you need to constantly make decisions about what's worth it. Okay, so I've got money on my account. I can spend a penny or two here or there. Is it worth spending a penny to get this information? About 30 years ago, I described a simple solution to both problems. For $25, you can buy a content passport. It's available for purchase on any website that is part of the content network, and you need one to read the content on their site. The site that sells it to you gets $10 in commission for selling it to you. Wow, that's 40%. It keeps track of every member's site you visit. That's really easy now with a cookie. And then the coordinator of the system allocates on a percentage basis $10 to the sites you visit. It's all going to go somewhere, whether you visit one site or 1,000. There's no friction because it's a buffet, just like it is now. Read all you want, no ads, no hassles. The site that gets visited the most gets the most aggregate money from the monthly distribution of royalties. Each site has an incentive to sell a lot of passports. The commission is significant. And the coordinator of the network is making 25% as well. It's really clear who the consumer is, the reader. And it's easy for any site to join the network. Aligned incentives, a simple and resilient solution. Have fun. P.S. This is unrelated to yesterday's post about federations, just a coincidence. Okay. Yesterday had a second posting called Some Thoughts on Mastodon, which is a social media platform. Okay, so what's Seth doing there? He's talking about a new way of doing things. He's talking about changing the status quo. He's trying to give a compelling story. But my hunch is, because there's a link to something that says watch a video, that there's a video. Which I don't want to screw up what we're doing, so I'm going to pause it once it starts. Here we go, rock roll. Okay, where do we go? There we are, back. Wow, scary. I don't know. Did anybody see what happened? Good job, Diana. Diana ordered her Chromebook. She was resourceful, figured out a solution to the problem, and she jumped. Good job, Diana. Good job, Diana. Kudos to you. Good system, good inspiration for other people. Okay, so Seth Godin, good talk, good chat. We're at 14:32 into it. Thank you, people, for being there. Yesterday, again, was our first meeting of the Amargosa Valley Committee, and it's kind of like the goal is to get people realigned. They came as critics. They left as friends. They came as skeptics. I have some questions. I like what you're doing, but means negate that. Here's what's really the theory. But I like what you're doing, but I have some questions. I have some concerns. When people sit together, often with a little coffee, alcohol, with a good intention, problems get solved. So that was good yesterday. First day, I missed a very important meeting in Pahrump, Kentucky, the VA thing. Unfortunately, the next meeting isn't for 2 months. Ugh. So I have to now go do it one person at a time. So, but that's okay. That's what we're used to doing, right? We keep marching forward. Other important announcement, Richard is heading to the apartments today. Many people will be sad. I will be sad. And Richard has been very helpful up here. But our goal is to help. Our social contract is we help. Our goal is to help make your life better. In return, you need to make our life easier. Richard did that for the most part, some setbacks, but that's always to be expected. But overall, much easier. And we have to continue to make his life better. Opening came up at Naylor and in one of our good apartments down there. So Richard is going down there today. So huzzah for Richard. Good job. Proud of you. Keep up the good work. Do the studies. Watch the video in the morning. Well, not in the morning because you'll be at work, but watch the video every day. Stay in touch with what we're doing. Okay. With that, let's go to the next thing, which is thank you, Diana. Yesterday was the only easy day. Navy SEAL Maxim. How do we move from point A to point B? Well, a very easy way to do it is to have an idea that yesterday was the only easy day. I am going to keep marching up the hill. I'm going to go from where I was to just a little bit more today, focused on the goal. And the goal needs to have the C5 additive, right? It needs to be clear. My goal needs to be clear, concise, compelling, consistent, and I need to be committed. There's some sort of creature gnawing on the wall outside. Well, I'll deal with that in a minute. So, thank you all for being there. Please share the video, encourage people to watch it. More importantly, though, watch the videos down below, the links to the videos. They will help you. You will gain knowledge, and as importantly, you'll be implementing the laws of power. Some or all of the first 4 laws of power. So with that, can somebody give me a cut? And cut. Okay, thank you. Cut. And cut.